Hi, and welcome to Darren's Light Shop Tutorials. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to invert an image, and that would take it from a positive into a negative. First thing we need to do is to go over to the Develop module, and we need to go into the Tone Curve section. Now, what I've done, you'll notice that my Basic tab closed. What I've done is I've invoked the Solo mode, and you right-click on any one of the headings, and you can engage solo mode here, and that just makes things a little bit neater so that when you open up one panel, the other panels will close. So as I switch back and forth between basic and tone curve, it just keeps things a little bit neater and tidier. In the tone curve section, we need to make sure that we come down to the bottom right and click on the item here. If you have your mouse over it, it'll say click to engage the editing of the points. And move the cursor right on top of the point. Now be careful, if you get a little crosshair symbol like this and you try to click and drag as we're about to do, what you're going to do is you're going to be shifting the curve. You don't want to do that. If that does happen, move the mouse until you get this vertical double-ended arrow, right click, and then delete control point. We want to move the cursor till we're right at the bottom left point. We want to have this vertical double-ended arrow, click, and drag up. Now if you drag up too far, you will lose track of your mouse and it gets kind of weird. Just hold the mouse button down and just keep dragging it until you get to 0.0 100%. So that makes everything white. And we go to the opposite point and we do the same thing, just in reverse. Hover over that point, click and drag down until we get 100% and 0. Then you're done. You've now inverted the image. You've made it from a positive into a negative, and you can play around and have all sorts of fun. Now, here's a little tip. Why don't we add that as a preset so that the next time I want to invert an image, I don't have to go and do this little task here. So in our presets section on the left-hand side, you click on the plus button, which will create a new preset. And if you have a folder for your presets, that's great. I have a number of different folders that I use, so I'm going to go to Darren's Regular Editing. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Invert. And we need to make sure that we choose the right option. So come down here, bottom left corner of the box, choose Check None. That just makes sure that no other setting is going to be used. And then put a check mark in the option of Tone Curve. Process version will usually be there check marked. That's okay. If you try to uncheck it, you're going to get a little warning. There's different versions of Lightroom, Lightroom 3, Lightroom 4. They use different process versions. As long as you don't have any of those old versions, it's really irrelevant, but just you can leave that one check marked. And click on Create. So now that's added it over here on the left-hand side in my presets section under Darren Regular Editing for Invert. So I can choose another image. If I choose this image here, I can come up, click on my preset, and that'll instantly switch it back to an inverse image. It won't reverse it, so if you click it again, it doesn't switch it back. But there are many ways to get your images back in Lightroom, and that would be something for another lesson. Anyways, hope you found it helpful and useful. Take care and see you soon.